Welcome in. We are, of course, following the latest on the possible strong and severe thunderstorms across the area. And you can really pretty much see here on real-time radar the broad view where we're seeing this line extending all the way right along the Western Kentucky Parkway and as far south there towards Christian and Todd counties. This is the line that we're focusing our attention on. This is actually moving right along that warm front, and combined with that warm front with these storms, it's also creating some spin in the air. So that's why that there is a tornado warning that is out for parts of Grayson County until about 4:30 a.m. this morning. You see the severe thunderstorm warnings out for Ohio, Butler, and Grayson counties as well. So it looks like towards the Caneyville area there to Grayson County is where you did see that rotation, and now that rotation is now pushing just east of that. But this line of storms has a history of producing some hail, some damaging winds with it as well. And this is essentially moving due east this hour. We can actually take a closer view with this particular tornadic warning here just near the Caneyville area. And you can really see where we got those vibrant colors. That's indicative of some hail embedded with these storms as well. You see there towards Litchfield, also included in this tornado warned cell as well. So in particular, if we can show our velocity right now, that we're able to look inside the storm to see where the winds are going. And where you have those greens and reds meeting, that's where you have gate-to-gate shear. So that means we could actually see a potential spin-up tornado in this part of the storm. So this is just east of Caneyville. We can actually zoom in a little closer just to get up some more communities there into Grayson County. So near the Millwood area, Black Rock area, and then near the Shrewsbury areas where we are actually seeing where there is winds going toward or away from the radar. So indicative again of that potential rotation that is in that area. So this is all moving east right along this line. What we have again is that warm front. So that is creating the atmosphere for these storms to spin. And so that's what we've been kind of keeping a close eye on overnight as these storms have developed. It took a while for these storms to develop, but they are developing now, and they are, of course, producing some strong gusts with them and even some hail embedded, and of course that risk for a spin-up tornado. So we zoom back out just to show you there's no active warnings for the Bowling Green area. So this is the only warning that we're seeing, at least in northern Butler County, for the News 40 viewing area at this time. And we can pull back up radar just to show you this line. Yeah, pretty vibrant colors there. We're getting in, of course, with some lightning data that is starting to update as well. So essentially what this is going to do is this is going to continue to slide east pretty much throughout the morning. But you're also noticing just south of this line, we could see some spotty showers and storms develop there as well. So we have some instability to work with here this morning, and we're about to approach sunrise here in, say, the next couple of hours or so. So that's also going to be something to watch for as this line continues to progress eastward throughout the morning. And of course, we'll keep you updated. There also are some localized flood risks to watch out for. You can see there where there are some flood warnings in place there near Muhlenberg County and Ohio County there. So there is the potential for local high water issues. You get those quick hitting rains that will arrive as well. And also kind of seeing how this is trailing along same areas of real estate that also poses a localized flood risk for those areas as well. Micah is alongside, and Micah, do you have any new updates about this particular storm system?
Well, Darius, it's not looking like we're seeing too much of an update from the storm. As of right now, of course, that's the severe thunderstorm warning, the tornado warning that you just covered. We are seeing the severe thunderstorm warning packing a bit of a punch on the damaging wind side. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts in possible, as well as those about a 3/4 to an inch to maybe even an inch size hail. But other than that, we're not looking at too much more information, as we do see both those warnings and a few other areas of concern as we get into these next hour or so as it continues its way into the area. And actually, we just got another tornado warning on the list there. Okay. Grayson County listed on there. I believe this is just an extension of the list of the other one. We'll take it to a full view here as we bring that in. Back to you, Darius, over there. We're going to see a little bit of a, we're going to get a closer view of this and bring in velocity for that.
Of course, thanks. And if you guys don't mind, we can now go live on air since this now includes Hart County for this tornado warning. So we'll have to, of course, switch over to over the air to break back in, and of course, we'll keep you guys updated. But you see this storm that is working its way in. Same storm associated with that tornado warning that is now into Grayson County. They have extended that, and now that includes not only Grayson County, but we're now looking into Hart County, and that goes until 5 a.m. Central Time. So as we are, of course, breaking to you guys now, we have that tornado warning that is out for portions of Grayson County, now into Hart County. That goes until 5 a.m. Central Time. You can actually see as we get closer here, we have velocity pulled up, so we're able to see inside the storm as far as where the winds are going. And where we have is those reds and greens meeting together, so that gives us at least an indication that there's gate-to-gate shear. So that means that there is some spin that is working inside this storm. Then we can get a closer view there. This is into Grayson County, just south of Litchfield this hour, near the Peoria area, and this is going to continue to work its way across the east. So a closer view as we take a look closer in and zooming in to show you what's going on as far as the communities that can be involved with this particular cell. We're looking towards Grayson Springs, Peoria, Meredith. You guys are in the path of this storm as this is moving due east this hour. And this line in particular has developed across, say, right along the Western Kentucky Parkway. And what's happening is it's moving right along this warm front. So the warm front itself is providing just enough to create spin in the air. So as these storms are moving right along that boundary, that's where we are going to be watching for the potential for a spin-up tornado with some of these storms. So again, we have that tornado warning that is out for that area. There you see into Grayson County and then portions of Hart County. And I believe that is, again, until 5 a.m. Central Time is when this is set to expire. Now, as far as things go, we can take a broad view to show you the direction of these storms and also kind of play a loop for you to show you where these storms are going. Again, we can backtrack, and I did mention they were right along the Western Kentucky Parkway, and they are now drifting off across the east. So again, we're looking at that tornado warning that is focused particularly there into Hart County. And this is northwestern Hart County, just to the west of the I-65 there. And then you can actually see as this line progresses how it's actually strengthening as well. We're starting to get more lightning data associated with this, and we're starting to see those stronger colors, those vibrant colors. So that's also indicative that the storms are strengthening, and we're also seeing some hail embedded with this as well. Now, this particular line has had a history of producing damaging wind gusts and even some hail with that as well. So that's on top of the fact that there is a tornado warning with this. We'll also have to watch for that risk for damaging winds. And it looks like there is a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning now that does include Butler County, Grayson County, and there into Edmonson County. So that goes until, let's see. So that's a tornado warning until about 5 a.m. We're looking at the severe thunderstorm warning. That may go until about 5 a.m. as well. So that's what we're seeing so far. Again, that is for portions of Grayson County there into Butler County and now into Edmonson County. This is the same system that is associated with that line that has produced this tornado warning that we see here in portions of Hart County. Now let's zoom back into this particular cell as we're looking towards where this tornado warn cell is, and we're going to take a closer view there. So this is near the Peoria area, and notice where we actually have those pinks, those magentas. That indicates where we could see some hail embedded with this storm, and that is actually the area of interest where we are actually seeing some spin with this system. So again, this is going to continue to drift east. And Micah, how fast is this system moving? It's moving due east. Is there a way to put a storm track on this to list some of the communities out there?
Storm track, let's look at that in our view. As for what we're experiencing right here, let me see if I can figure this out. We are seeing this more of due east. Let me redraw that in just a second, clear that out of the way. It is looking to be around due east, correct, Darius?
Yes, due east. It's moving east, and we could say roughly about, say, 55 miles an hour. It looks like this storm is moving east in the general area there. And actually, let's see if we can, draw that out. Let's see here. And we are going to just show some of the communities that could be affected here with this particular cell as we draw this out with the current storm track. So we're looking, say, towards the Peonia area. This is in Grayson County. So we're going to essentially move this east, say, roughly 50 to 55 miles an hour. So areas like Skaggstown, Fragrant area, Higdon area, Skaggstown, right in your area right now with this storm, at least the strongest part of this storm. Rock Creek area, 437. The Black Rock area at 438. And you're looking, especially in the communities like Spurrier at 443, Willers Mill at 445. So these are some of the areas that are also into Hart County where you do have that tornado warning. So it doesn't necessarily include the city of Munfordville, but it does include the Bonneville area, the Lone Star area, the Priceville area, and the Willers Mill area. Those areas into northwestern Hart County right now in that tornado-warned storm that is moving your way. And I'm just going to see if there's a new update here with this severe warning that is out for Edmonson County and Grayson and Butler counties. It looks like that still continues until about 5 a.m. as well. So this is all moving within your direction. What you want to do is, in the event of a tornado warning, it is really important to practice tornado safety when under a warning. So what you want to do is you want to get into the lowest level of your home, whether that be your first floor, or if you have a basement, preferably that is the best place to go to. An interior closet is a good spot to go to as well if you don't have a basement. But what you want to do in those situations is you want to stay away from doors, windows, anything that has openings, and you want to protect your head, duck and cover, as those are very important things to do, especially when you're in a tornado warning. Of course, tornado warnings can be pretty stressful. We know that here in Bowling Green, but the best thing to do is to practice that safety and breathe. You will get through this as we go throughout the morning. These are systems where we're watching for quick spin-ups, and I'm not anticipating anything long-tracked with this. These are just quick spin-up tornadoes that will be around from time to time with some of these storms. Again, it's something that we're dealing with this warm front that is moving over in the area. So we can go back to radar just to show you what's going on as far as the storm is moving. So you see this line. This is, again, progressing from west to east. It's extending as far back, say, right along the Western Kentucky Parkway towards Christian and Todd counties. Real-time radar showing you that tornado warning once again. So Fragrant area, and now, again, drifting eastward is where we are seeing that storm. We have another severe warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, again, for Butler, Grayson there, and into Edmonson counties until about 5 a.m. And you really see just how this line it was initially a broken line when it first began. It's all coming together and pretty organized. And so whenever you see a line become more organized, well, that's indicative that, okay, this thing's strengthening. And the fact that it's moving within the area of this warm front also puts the risk for that spin-up tornado possibility that we've been talking about yesterday that we did mention. So this is what we're seeing right now as the result of that. This is, I think, our best chance for severe storms is mainly going to be pretty much this morning and say by mid-morning. So eventually we should anticipate at least some drier conditions as we go later throughout the day. South Central Hart County. So if you're in the area of Munfordville, let's talk about Munfordville right now. So you guys are right now, at the moment, are not in any type of severe warning. But the tornado warning that is going on is for northern and western Hart County. So that includes the Bonneville area. And if we can zoom back in to just show you some more of those communities that are included into northwestern Hart County, this is, if we can zoom in, so we're looking at Broad Ford area, that is actually into Grayson County, but we can zoom in and show you even more communities that are there. We're looking towards, say, Ryder's Mill area, the Willers Mill area, the Priceville area. These are the areas right now that are in a tornado warning, and this again goes until 5 a.m. You can actually see where we have the strongest part of the storm now into the Black Rock area and the Royal area. This is essentially, again, moving eastward. So it's a quick moving system. The only thing that also poses a risk, though, is when you have a line of storms or kind of a trail of storms over an same area of real estate, is the potential for localized flooding. So on top of the damaging wind risk and as well as the risk for the spin-up tornado, we're also going to be watching for the risk for localized flooding in some low-lying flood-prone areas. Again, that risk is more so localized, as well as with the risk for a possible spin-up tornado. Are we still seeing any spin with this, Mike? Is there still a, yeah, so we can still see that there. So this area here, just east of Peonia there. So this is the area of concern that we're still focused on. And we can zoom in a little closer just to put up some more communities there. So Black Rock, the Higdon area, Fragrant area, these are the areas where you want to already be in your safe place. And I will say with this velocity scan, I mean, we get these up to the minute, but there's a chance that this could already also be towards the Spike area and Royal area once this updates. So this, again, is drifting east this hour as that is going to work its way into northwestern Hart County. So again, Ryder's Mill area, Priceville area, those are the areas of concern. And then also some other communities you're looking at, the Lone Star area as well, there into northwestern Hart County included in this tornado warning. I'm going to step off screen and show you guys just where I'm talking about. Of course, I pointed at it, but it's probably better that I draw it out here with this telestrator just to show you this area of concern. I'm going to circle this out. So this is the area where you're getting just those winds meeting together. So this is, again, where we call the gate-to-gate shear. And this is right on top of Black Rock. So this is, again, currently into Grayson County. So the actual area of rotation hasn't quite made it to Hart County just yet. But this is in Grayson County, and it is headed generally within that vicinity towards the east into northwestern Hart County. So as we see more scans come in, we're going to watch this closely work its way east and then eventually approach the Hart County area. And so you can see there, Ryder's Mill in the path of that, and that's a section of Hart County that we're watching out for as well. So this is, oh, let me take that off there. This is, again, until 5 a.m., and that includes, as we look here for Grayson County, Hart County, and I believe that is Hardin County, actually, that it goes until 5 a.m. this morning. So there you see that area of rotation. That is going to continue to move east. Let's talk about that in relation to Bowling Green for those who may be watching from here. So this storm is actually northeast of Bowling Green. So it's not in the path of Bowling Green, but you can actually see this line extending far back towards Christian and Todd counties. So where we do have this line, it's going to likely, again, continue to press eastward. So eventually, Bowling Green, we're going to get in with some storms this morning. Although that tornado warning is northeast of the area, we're still going to have to keep a close eye as far as what these storms back to the west, say towards Christian and Todd counties, do. So we'll have to see as they evolve, will they spin, and also will they produce some damaging winds. So the severe risk isn't over quite just yet. Someone is curious about Horse Cave, Kentucky. So I will tell you, right now, Horse Cave is not currently in the area of concern with the severe warnings at this time. So you guys don't have a tornado warning for your area, as we're seeing the current area of rotation into Grayson County, and that's going to cross over into northwestern Hart County. Again, that is for the Bonneville area and Broadford areas there, Lone Star areas. These are the areas where you want to be in your safe place, as you guys are under that immediate threat for a possible tornado in that area. So this, again, is moving east. And you can actually see on the velocity, we can see the latest scan here. This is still showing within that vicinity where we are seeing that rotation towards the Spike area now and Royal area into Grayson County. This is, again, going to cross over right over into the Hart County line. If it holds together, could cross over into the Hart County line and head towards the Writers Mill area, Lone Star area, and Priceville area into northwestern Hart County at this time. So let's update that. We'll clear this off for you. And so this is the newest scan. You really see now it's over top Lone Oak, Spike, Royal, and Millerstown. So this is, again, moving eastward. And I can show you, just to backtrack, you really see how this system is evolving. And it's still consistent as we loop this out for you. You can see how it's still consistent, showing that rotation with this storm. So this is, again, right on top of the Lone Oak area, Royal area, and Spike area there into Grayson County. It is going to cross over into Hart County towards the Writers Mill area. So be in your safe place right now. And of course, you want to stay covered. You want to protect your head, as that is the most vital part of your body. Micah, did you have something else? Is there anything new coming in from the chat or any reports with this storm?
Just a little bit of extensions from the storm. I mean, we've seen it evolve towards the east as well as this moving towards the east. We've seen that severe thunderstorm warning able to expire in those more western counties and western areas. So it's just the evolving that you've been talking about.
Got you. So that is what we are here to do. We are here to watch. We're here to watch these storms as they continue to progress eastward at this time. So this is coming up at 4:46 a.m. So these storms have evolved quite quickly. I mean, we can go back and just kind of see how this line really developed. And again, as far west towards Paducah initially is where it kind of started, but then you can see how this line has just really came together. I mean, it has just covered more areas of real estate as it's moved through. Now, although the line itself kind of looks a little skinny from this view, at least on a broader ranges, I mean, it goes all the way up right through the Western Kentucky Parkway up towards the Lexington area there into central and even eastern Kentucky is where we're actually seeing extension of this line of storms. So it's a pretty, skinny line, but it is covering a pretty wide area as far as its span from west to east. So this is, again, going to move due east. It's right across Butler County now is where you guys have that, at least in eastern Butler County, have that severe thunderstorm warning, and now towards Edmonson County and Grayson County. And then we go back to this tornado warning where we're slowly seeing this crossover now. So there is the area of concern still. We are still seeing that rotation. So let me draw this out for you just to show you what I'm talking about. We're looking right on top of Millerstown, the Willers Mill area. And so now we are now to the part where the rotation is crossing over right along the border there of what looks like Hardin County, Grayson County, and now into Hart County. Again, northwestern Hart County towards the Willers Mill area is the area of concern now where we are seeing that rotation. So this, again, is moving east. You can see where we have those areas where those reds and greens are meeting at this time. So, again, indication of gate-to-gate shear with this system. When you see that, that's the radar telling us, hey, there's a possibility that there's a tornado with this storm. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's a tornado on the ground, but the radar is telling us, hey, there's a possibility that you could see a quick spin up with this particular cell that is over in that area. So Lone Star, Writers Mill, and then you're also looking towards Priceville, Bonneville included in this tornado warning. And what looks like the far eastern extent of this polygon, Vento area. there into Hart County, included in this tornado warning that goes until 5 a.m. this morning. The time is now 4:49, so we got about at least 10 minutes or so to see if this thing expires. I will say we're going to continue to watch this because this area of rotation is still showing up. So it's been pretty consistent with each scan. So we'll have to see how this evolves, if they're going to extend the warning or what they're going to do, if they're going to extend that further east there. So looks like they have chipped off the area now where we are still seeing that kind of couplet, but it looks like they've chipped away for Grayson County. And now it looks like this includes Hardin and Hart County. So again, northwestern Hart County and now into Hardin County. There's southern Hardin County now included in this tornado warning. They've chipped away Grayson County at this time. So you see that area of rotation just north of Ryder's Mill is where we're seeing those reds and those greens meeting together. So again, those are the areas of concern. This is the only area that I see out of the line at this time that is kind of more pronounced than other velocity scans that we're picking up on. So this is why the National Weather Service out in Louisville, the office there, has decided to issue this tornado warning for those areas. So again, this is crossing east. We can zoom back in just to show you those communities that are within the path of this storm. So we're just going to continue to follow the storm essentially until this tornado warning is allowed to expire. This, again, is pressing eastward, Vento area. So you guys are right on the edge of that. It's saying right about 5:06 a.m., so a little bit after it expires. But regardless, this is a tornado warned system that is headed towards your area. We're looking at Wabash by 5:14, Tally at 5:15, High Hickory at 5:17. So that's as the storm continues to hold together. At the time, 5:17, it's not supposed to still be a tornado warning, but we'll see if they will extend that. It looks like the latest scans are still, Micah, they're still kind of showing some shear there with this. So we'll have to see how this, again, evolves as it moves further east. So if we can put on, if you can actually show satellite and radar, just kind of show them the whole setup of what's going on with this system all together, because it's a pretty broad system. It's bringing not just storms here in our area, but it's also even bringing some ice and snow across parts of the states as well. So just to show you how dynamic this system could be. And in fact, we can actually pull up a broader view. I think it's in a different frame where we could actually see the front and then just kind of outlining the area of energy that's, of course, bringing, there we go. So clouds and radar, you see that right now. There is the frontal boundary that's dropped through the area. So I think once this slides east, our severe weather risk should diminish for us. So I think our best severe weather risk is going to be mainly this morning, say, at least until about mid to late morning is where we are going to be dealing with this. But we can zoom out and show you just the broad scope of what's going on. So you got a wave of energy. I did mention areas where they're seeing some snow and ice. I mean, this is a pretty dynamic system that's going on, and even some flood warnings that are going on across eastern Kentucky. Now let's take it back home towards Hart County, as we are now seeing that area of rotation now into Hart County. It was crossing over from the Grayson County line. Grayson County now no longer included in that tornado warning. And there you see it just now, it's a small section there of northwestern Hart County. Munfordville not included in this. Horse Cave not included in this. So I just want to point that out for those who may be watching from those areas. But again, this is just north there. And it looks like they even shrunk Bonneville not in there as well. So this is, again, this is Hardin County, southern Hardin County, and then you're looking at northwestern Hart County there. And this is that storm, again, set to expire at 5 a.m. this morning. So looking closer, you see those pretty vibrant colors. Again, some hail embedded with this. Winds estimated right around 60 miles per hour. So 60 mile per hour winds, and that's enough to do some damage to some trees and power lines as well in those areas. So zooming in back, or actually back to velocity, which is what you can really see here, still showing. So I'm curious to see if this holds together. I'm curious to see if they'll extend that further east. But it looks like this is still holding together as far as consistency with what it's showing. So this, again, is going to cross over, or already is crossing over, into Hart County. This is now northwestern Hart County. We are just near the Lone Star community and just west of the Upton community there into Hardin County this hour. So, again, this is crossing over. We're right along that line, essentially, there between Hart and Hardin County as this is moving east. Again, the Vento area also included in this tornado-warned storm. Is there any updates as far as power outages, or probably no reports just yet with this? No reports. Okay, so no outages either. So we'll see later on, maybe throughout the morning, if there's going to be outage reports with this. Of course, like I mentioned, this line has had a history of producing some damaging winds and as well as hail with this as well. So this is the focus, though, of this storm, because it is the tornado-warned section of it. Again, in 4 parts of Hart County and into Hardin counties until 5 a.m. Central Time. Let's zoom closer back in just to see where that is right on top of. So again, near the Lone Star area, there into Hart County, and then just really right along that, say, Hardin and Hart County line there. So some of the roads you see, North Pleasant Hill Road, if that sounds familiar to you, Falling Springs Road, if that sounds familiar to you, those are the areas where you definitely want to already be in your safe place right now. We're looking towards South Walnut Street as that goes down from Hardin County into Hart County. Those areas you want to already be in your safe place right now. So this is, again, the area of concern where we are seeing that potential spin-up tornado with this. And I will say this scan, I don't think it's as prominent as the other scans, but this is still showing that gate-to-gate shear with this. So again, and we're right on the cusp of the expiration of this. We've got just roughly 5 minutes to go until this tornado warning expires, but we'll have to see. So far, is there any wording if they're going to extend that or not in the chat, or if they've thought about? Okay, so we're about 5 minutes until the expiration of this warning, and there has not been a new tornado warning issued, but you can still kind of see where we could see that potential rotation into northern Hart County and right along the Hardin County line there. So this is just southwest of the community of Upton and just northeast of the community of Lone Star there into Hart County, where we are seeing that possible tornado with this. So again, this is what we're watching for, is that possibility for a spin-up tornado. It looks like they will likely allow this tornado warning to expire, since the new warning out ahead of it has been a severe thunderstorm warning. But sometimes with these lines, you have to watch closely. Spin-up tornadoes, they can happen every so often, and then they can go away and they can come back up again, depending on just the flow of the air. And really, it's just right along this warm front is where we are finding that possibility for those tornadoes to spin up with some of these storms. So the new severe thunderstorm warning now out. This goes until 5:30 a.m. Central Time. This is now, this includes Hardin County, now towards Greene County out there. I do believe portions of Taylor County there. You see right along the edge there in Hart counties until 5:30 a.m. this morning. So quite a active morning for some folks out there this morning as we are dealing with scattered showers and storms. We've watched for the potential last night. It took a while for these storms to materialize, but here they are, and they've developed rather quickly, and they are, of course, tracking through the area quite quickly as well. So now with this severe thunderstorm warning, I do want to say, even though it's not a tornado-warned storm, I still want you to treat this as if it's something of significance, because again, we're also talking about the potential for damaging wind gust and hail associated with these storms. So although you think, oh, it's a severe thunderstorm warning, I mean, there's still some danger to that, as that is going to work its way across the east, again, for portions of northern Hart County and through, say, Hardin County there and towards Greene and Taylor counties until about 5:30 Central Time this morning. So let's take a broader view as far as things go. We still got that tornado warning out for portions of Hart and Hardin counties until 5 a.m. this morning, which I think will be allowed to expire here within the next couple of minutes. But we still see areas where Butler County, Edmonson County, and there into Grayson County under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. And so strong storms pressing in, and you can actually see far back to the west there. Now we're looking towards Logan County, towards Todd County there. Nothing severe with those, but those are trailing right along the kind of the edge of this line of storms. So we'll see how those evolve as well. This is going to continue to move east. Eventually, once these storms roll out of here, I do anticipate the severe weather risk to eventually diminish for us. Again, I think our best risk for severe storms will be mainly this morning, especially throughout mid to late morning, and that is as these lines of storms will eventually pass through the area. Looks like there is a new severe thunderstorm warning now out right along this line. That includes Butler County, northern Warren County now. We're looking into Edmonson County, and I believe that is also into Hart County. So it's another severe thunderstorm warning on top of that as well. And that goes until about 5:30 a.m. this morning. You really see right on top of Morgantown right now. You guys are getting the brunt of this particular thunderstorm in that area. Let's take another look at that. Well, looks like that tornado warning has now been expired. So there we go. So the tornado warning is now expired. We're still dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings that are out across the area. So again, this is that line that's moving in. It's producing some very strong wind gusts and even some hail embedded with this as well. This will likely affect, if you're an early commuter, likely affecting your commutes this morning, especially into the Morgantown area and through Edmonson, Grayson, towards Hart and, say, Greene and Taylor counties as well. Those are the areas that are currently under severe thunderstorm warnings until about 5:30 a.m. Central Time. So far, there's no tornado warning out for the area, so I think we will cut back to regular programming, but of course, we'll keep you informed and alert if there's any new tornado warnings issued. But of course, if there's any new warnings issued, you can continue to follow us online and on the web and download the News 40 Weather app.